Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to... I did a stream intro. I think I was muted, so if there's two intros, I apologise. But we're going to go straight into some one-shot action. We're here for round 4 of the racing club here at Abu Dhabi with a sprint race to come. A gap in the middle so we can avoid any nasty sound glitches for any of our PS4 runners. Fun little track, this one. It's become immensely more popular, immeasurably so, since the changes brought into effect ahead of the 2021 season. The reprofiled turn 9 and the chicane that's been eliminated before turn 5. We'll go through championship standings during the formation lap for the sprint, but for now let's tune in to, let's see who the game is going to give us. It's going to give us Forza Brendan, so let's ride on board with the Hassman. Takes control of the car now at the timing line and flinging the car to the outside of the track. You want to open up the angle of turn 1. You don't want to go over the ridge of the curve. That can unsettle the car a little bit, slow you down. Turn 2 and 3 are sticky. The car can want to slide and drop from underneath you. Now we can avoid that awful chicane of turns 5 and 6. And the new turn 5, you can take such a wide line here. You want to pick the throttle up nice and early. You're never quite sure when the power is going to fully stick. So you're a little more hesitant than perhaps you'd like to be. Now down the long straight towards turn 6, the track narrows bizarrely as you approach the braking zone. Break at the 100-metre board, hook the car in. Don't use too much curb, don't get greedy. Just thread it through either Needle stuff before the Brendan. That's nice, but a big moment on the exit there. He loses a bit of time. Avoid the inside of the track here. There's a little bump on the inside of that blue painted tarmac, which can scrub off a fair amount of speed. Brendan, really nice there through the new turn 9. Bring the car to the left hand side. Thread it through the double right-hander of 10 and 11, and then 12 tricky braking zone, and then this 13 and 14 off camber. Awful pair of corners. You really want to thread it as if it's one long hairpin. Flat out now for the penultimate corner. Now turn 15 and then 16. The camber's a lot nicer here. The track falls towards you, and it's a 23.9 for Brendan. 90th second off our pole sitter, who is QVR Campbell. Disqualifications for Mata, Fleddy, Jacob, Carmentis and Cohen haven't set laps yet. Carmentis comes across line with a 34.7 and a 36.5 for Cohen as well. Now let's see if I can get this stream popped in the TRC chat, because I do not have the link. So it's Campbell on pole, as we said, from Wouter. That's a tasty front row. Gary continuing his strong pace in this game with P3. Rocco in P4 there. Neo 5th. Verstappen 6th. Benjes 7th. Brie 8th. Brendan 9th. Packer rounds out the top 10. Just as surprisingly down in 11th place. 1/100th ahead of Eon, Dan, and then Miami and Pease over a second further back. And Carl Mendelssohn Code obviously having big issues on their laps with Mata, Fleddy and Jekyll, as we said, failing to set a valid time. So now we look ahead to the sprint race, which I believe is 10 laps, if I remember quickly from the lobby. We did start the stream in a bit of a rush, I admit, so much so that I don't actually have a drink with me. So if I sound a little hoarse or even a little pony by the end of the evening, do forgive me. So let's have a look. I presume everyone gets 2 sets of mediums, 1 set of hards for a sprint weekend, so it should be a no-brainer that everyone goes on to on the medium tyre. I think if anyone's going softs or hards, they are compromising themselves a little bit, although of course we are restarting the lobby between sprint and race, so the hards, even though they only get 1 set, are there to be used in this sprint race if anyone fancies it, because they will get that set back for the race because of the lobby restart. So there are more options here than there normally would be in a sprint race. Let's take a look at what everyone has plucked for. And it is everyone on the mediums. Campbell, Wouter, all the way down to J. Cole. Everyone on that yellow marked medium tyre. No one fancying a go on the hards. I'm not sure if the drivers were told they couldn't use the hards in view of this lobby restart. I doubt it, personally. But so let's just assume everyone on the same tyre. There can be a safety car, of course, so people are allowed to make stops. There's no obligation for them to do so. So this should be a straight shootout really of over 10 laps to the end. I'm sure Campbell and Wouter and Gary and Rocco will be very evenly matched in the laps to come. There's no shortage of overtaking opportunities here. You've got the Verstappen corner at turn 5. You've got here at turn 6, at turn 9 as well if you're feeling a little bit gutsy. If you often you might catch someone on poor traction here coming out of turn 7 towards 8, and you may just be able to nab a place in a drag race down towards that cambered hairpin of turn 9. The track comes towards you. It's not the awful off-camber corners that you see later on in the lap at, I think, turns 12 and 13. The track leans towards you, so you always get quite good grip through there. But it's this section coming up, turns 11, 12, 13 and 14, where it's off-camber. The track slopes away from the angle of the corner, and you never quite really have the grip you want. The traction just doesn't quite seem to stick as it should. I'm not going to endear myself with a prediction, because predictions are stupid. Predictions are for people who are happy to be wrong. And I often am wrong, but that's not going to make me make a prediction. I just hope we have a good battle to come. And remember, this only sets the grid for the main Grand Prix. There are points available, of course. We don't need to look at the tyre, because everyone's on the same one. Let's get rid of that awful interval gap as well, clogging up the screen there. I neglected to mention the championship points. This is why I should have a co-commentator, because I am uselessly unorganised, but at least the game's giving us a nice camera view here. So we have Fleddy disqualified for one, Miami as well. We've got Campbell on the left of your screen, Wouter on the right. It's 5 lights ahead for the sprint race here in the Racing Club, and we are underway. Look like Campbell got a marginally better start than Wouter. No, Wouter's in the lead towards turn 1. We've got Neo up the outside as well. The front two have broken away. Gary eager to get out of a battle there between Rocco and Neo, and still side by side goes Campbell. We've got a huge collision in the background there. That's Ben Jess has been turned around. Brendan's gone round as well. Gary, Neo and Rocco are side by side, towards turn 5. Neo got very wide on the exit of 1. Brendan's disqualified there. He must have been going the wrong way. We've got side by side between Dan and Fleddy there as well, as they come down straight, and Campbell's going to tow them down towards turn 5. Let's have a look at our battle for P3. It's Rocco versus Gary versus Neo. Gary going to the outside. Neo's going to have a look up the inside of the... Not on this occasion, but Gary's going to try and hang this round the outside of 6. It comes towards him to 7. He gets pinched up against the apex. That's going to compromise his exit. And Neo says, "Thank you very much, my good Irish sir. I'll have 4th place. You have a potato, because I'm up into 4th place." And he's got to run on Rocco there towards turn 9. Campbell has regained the lead of this race after losing it momentarily at the start. Neo not quite getting the run at Rocco that he would have hoped for. And let's get those interval gaps up. Now we've got Yastas and Fleddy. Look at that, a 10th of a second between them towards turn 12, and just sends that sensationally there into 12. He's going to hang it around 13 to 14. He's got the wider line. That's not going to be too quick, but yes, that has the surplus speed to spare there, and Fleddy gets very out of shape. We've got Rocco round at turn 15 there. He's dropped it all by his lonesome, I should believe. It's a flat out corner, turn 15, so I'm not sure how he got too out of shape there, but must have just had a scruffy angle or something. Fleddy goes very wide at turn 1. Car mentally keeping a watching brief, prowling for another position. Cohen has passed Miami there towards turn 1, but Miami's got a good run towards turn 5. Is he feeling a Verstappen style send there? No, he's not. He'll keep watching for a moment. We've got another spinner. That is QBR. Packer goes plummeting on the exit of turn 5, and well, any good work in one shot. He's going to have to recover that all over the next 9 laps, and he's going to have to do some overtaking in the sprint as well. Bree has had to come in for a pit stop. Car Mentalist does get past Fleddy. No, they're not. They're side by side on the exit of turn 7, and they're going to be barging wheels through the long sweeping curve of 8 towards turn 9. Car Mentalist is ahead. Is Fleddy going to try tucking into the slipstream? No, he's not. He's just going to hang on to the inside. Force Car Mentalist to take that higher, wider line, but the benefit of the AlphaTauri is they can carry some more overspeed there with the high line. There's a shallower angle, and Car Mentalist is safely ahead and through into P8. Great overtake there from the AlphaTauri driver. Neo is into P3 in this little squabble now that Rocco has been, or has dispatched himself, I should say, but there's 3.3 seconds off the lead. Campbell and Wouter in another planet right now, but we've got a yellow flag. And let's get our track round up and see how that was. It's just Bree making a mistake there. We've got a Packer round for a second time at exit turn 14. Packer, unless it's a safety car, safely confined to the back of the grid, although we'll be starting likely higher than Bree, higher than Brennan as well. Be interested to those guys coming through. DRS now into effect on this, the third lap of 10, and Campbell is going to feel the assaults and the breath of Wouter down the back of his neck as Car Mentalist dispatches Justus now into turn 5. Car Mentalist is on a mission today, and let's have a look at the position changes. Car Mentalist up 8 places in 2 and a bit laps. It's a fabulous first opening period of this race. Car Mentalist, and doesn't look done yet. They're really reeling in Dan, Pease, Gary and Neo as well for P3, so Car Mentalist on a charge. Wouter's not been able to do anything about Campbell this lap, but I wonder if Wouter will just be waiting. It's only 1 point in the sprint, so maybe looking to save himself for a charge on the last lap, perhaps minimise that risk. Neo is having to fend off the assaults of Gary through turn 9. Gary had one look round the outside. Is he going to send it now in towards turn 12? He's not. Ben JS passes QVR Verstappen there for P15, the minor placings. Rocco picks up the first penalty of the day, and Neo lives to fight another day up front with Gary closely in tow. P's not quite hanging as nicely to the back of this as perhaps I expected. Dan is following as well. Car Mentalist, we've got a yellow flag. Someone else has become a cropper at turn 15. That is Miami 4S, and that will be making Rocco feel a little bit better about himself that someone else has joined him there in the bin on the exit of turn 15. So we're going to see a part 2, or, well, really, we didn't see much of a part anything last lap. Maybe this will be a part 1. Wouter with the DRS open, and Neo will be feeling particularly vulnerable as well on this lap. Gary and Pease in close company. Wouter doesn't have the straight line speed to challenge Campbell, and will sit back for, you've got another DRS zone, of course, as is the case with Gary. With Pease, Dan is derating down the end of the straight, already used all of his deploy, down under 10%. Then let's have a look at Car Mentalist, still sitting 1.5 seconds back. Difficult for them with the DRS train ahead. However, this needs to be on the pace of Neo. Or should that be Gary? As Gary looks around the outside again, he bangs wheels, side pod contact there between the two of them. Neo hangs on yet again, he survives. Gary's a fan of turn 9. Maybe he should be having a look in towards turn 6 instead, because turn 9, 2 laps in a row, it's not working for him here. They concertina up as they come through the hotel section of turns 12, 13, 14. P's much closer than he was on the last lap, but then gets very out of shape, as you can see on the exit. Lovely helicam view here. You can really see the driver's lines as they thread it through the optimum line of this track, or they tried to thread it through the optimum line. And Dan is past P's, who spun there. We've got another spinner at 15-16. Not particularly friendly to the driver's day. P's has plummeted, and in the process we've got Fleddy, J. Cole up 10 places in this sprint. Car Mentalist up 9, all 3 of those making good use of the format. Dan as well up 7 as Kuhn picks up a penalty, but look at that. Oh, we've got another spinner. That is Kuhn picks up a penalty and a spun to double his troubles. But yeah, Rocco, Ben JS, Verstappen, Packer, Bree, Brendan, not particularly enjoying the format as Wouter, still very close to the back of Campbell. Fleddy passes Justas there. Justas not really showing some pace I would expect from him driving his caliber today. Let's have a look at Gary going to try turn 9 again. We've got a yellow flag, someone else has spun. That's a Haas. That's J. Cole. Had such a good opening section of this race. It said up 10 places, but curse the commentator there, he's just given away 5 of them between the 2 Alpines, the Williams of Ben JS and the Alpine of QVR Verstappen. Gary, no attempt on Neo this lap, so he's going to sit back and bide his time. With P's gone, I think Gary will be feeling a little more relaxed about his situation now, as will Neo probably, and Dan is closing on these 2, an absolute treat. Behind them, it's a little more spread out. Car Mentalist in a bit of no man's land there, as is Fleddy, as is Justas. Although Justas has been passed by Fleddy and is now 2 seconds behind him, so I think Justas probably carrying some damage there. He looked like he was a little bit laborish, or sluggish I should say, round turn 16. Not as sluggish as Rocco there, who went fully off the track, already has a penalty. Can't be doing with another one with how close the gaps are. As Pease passes, Cohen's retired from the session and taken the matter with him. We've got a full course safety car, and Wouter and Campbell had built up a solid 4-5 second lead there. That's going to be wiped out, and I'll tell you what as well, this plays beautifully into the hands of Packer. And actually, no, Bree staying. Oh, Bree is coming in. Those at the back that can afford to make a pit stop may as well. They could put some fresh softs on and they'll be ready to charge down those ahead of them. But if you're up front, you cannot afford to give up track position. It is precious. Even if you can overtake on a track like this, you do not want to give up track position, because remember, you give up track position now, you also give up grid position for the Grand Prix. So I would say it's too big a risk to come in if you're in the top 5-6 places, especially in Fleddy as well. You get 11 places, you want to give that up. So I can't see any of the leaders coming in. I think Miami might be the only other one who's right at the back, maybe the Mata as well. They've got less to lose, but I'm excited to be proven wrong here if Campbell comes in. Campbell does not come in, sensibly so. I don't think anybody else will, but we live to be surprised. Gary thought about it, tried to dupe Dan, I think he was going for a pit stop, didn't. As Dan has had, I think, possible wheel disconnection issue, had that in LOE a few weeks ago, where his car went straight on J. Cole, yes, that's Verstappen, all in. Yeah, Dan had a wheel disconnection issue at Bahrain in LOE a couple of weeks ago. I wonder if that was something similar, because they just went straight on off the track and looked like he clipped the wall as well on the inside of the exit, the last corner. Neo ran right up alongside Wouter there, and then decides to back off the field. It's going to close up nicely. Let's have a look at the tyres. So the top 11, as you were, 12 to 17, all pitted for fresh softs. Safety car will be coming in, I imagine, at the end of lap 8, because Bree will be nowhere near the back of the snake come the end of this one, unless safety cars are coded differently in the sprint and we can get a one-lap safety car. No, we can't, because we've passed the time in line for sector 3, and the safety car is still out. We haven't had a safety car in this lap. Message. Nathan Gruer 63 in the chat says, I predict Wouter P's Ben. I wonder if that's for the sprint or the Grand Prix. If it's for the sprint, that's not going particularly well, because well, Ben Jeff is down in 9th place, and Pease has made an absolute fool of himself with that spin out of the last corner, down in P8 at the moment. So let's check back in with the position changes. So yes, 5 big gainers, sorry. It's Dan, Carmentelis, Fleddy, Pease, although Pease was doing much better, as I said, until that spin. Mata is well up 7 places. Jekyll has gained 6, and he's on fresh tyres, on fresh softs. So Jekyll has got a chance to really maximise his takings from this sprint race, if he can gain a place or two with the softs. The problem is, Rocco ahead of him is also on a soft, so Jekyll's progress is really capped by as far as Rocco can get through this pack. We are going to have 2 laps green flag action, which means no DRS to use for any of our drivers. It will be coming in this lap regardless. Bree gets a penalty trying to catch up to the field, and given we've got an extra lap, Bree didn't need to be pushing there, so that must have been a very lazy warning for XL. Bree. It just kind of compounds or undermines, should I say, the benefit of any forward progress he might make after this race. So 2 laps to go. Who's our money on? If you're in chat, drop a message, tell us your predictions for the last 2 laps of this sprint race. Obviously I know all about dealing with a late safety car. You've got 2 laps to hold on to a lead, so Campbell really should be taking a leaf out of my book here, because I'm a proper pro at this kind of situation, dealing with an unexpected safety car. We've got 5 viewers right now. If you're one person who's tuning in, safety car in this lap, no lap cars may overtake message, thank Lord. If you're in stream chat and you're not racing, drop us a message, because I've got to fill about 40 seconds now worth of gumph with absolutely nothing to say. What about those handbags at the Chelsea Spurs game earlier today, eh? That handshake between Tuchel and Conte. Fiery stuff indeed. I could have gone through the championship standings. Oh, Killer Blue, you absolute melon. Let's see, when is Wouter going to go? He's following the safety car quite closely, but I think from there, the safety car itself is very slow. So Wouter still weaving away. If I was him, I'd go between 15 and 16. Make it as tricky as you can for those behind to follow. He's not gone yet. He's gone now into the braking zone in the last corner. Nicely done from Wouter. He's gapped Campbell by enough so that he... Oh, look at Gary there, very slow off the last corner. Dan's trying to have a peek down the outside of turn 1. Gary's going to have to take a tighter line, and Campbell may just about get a run now as Rocco on the soft tyres already made a move into turn 1. He's past Miami. J. Cole through as well. Justas is through. Miami's having an awful time of it, but here comes Dan up the inside of Gary into turn 5. That is nice, but look ahead. Wouter side by side with Campbell. Campbell got very deep and late into turn 5. And now it's a drag race. Who's got the lower wings here as Campbell comes across? And I think that's in tune with what I was seeing earlier on. I think Campbell is running more touristy wings than Wouter, the Dutchman. And now Carmentalist is up on the inside of Gary there into turn 6. And is Carmentalist going to squeeze through? They are. That is fabulous. Once again from Carmentalist, the upward trajectory continues from the AlphaTauri driver at the expense of their teammate, and Fleddy's going to have a look at Gary now towards turn 9. It's a horror show of a first lap for Gary under this safety car restart. Fleddy, though, can't find a way through. Oh, and he's tapped by Pease there on the outside of the track. Pease has committed murder, and Rocco is through into P8. And Rocco, well, Gary might be having a good time of it. Pease might be having a good time of it. Rocco certainly is. Rocco is flying through the field now. He's down 4 places from his start position, but the soft tyres coming to good use on the low fuel. Rocco into P8, and Ben JS is going to let his teammate go through here. Coordinated tactics there from the 2 Williams drivers. Rocco is released onto the back of Gary, and Gary will be thinking, please, can I just capture a break? That was a bizarre contact, though, between Pease and Fleddy. Fleddy was just trying to take a straight line, I think, on the outside of turn 9. Pease was taking the normal racing line, which threads you towards the outside of the track, and Pease hits the back of Ben JS there. 2 contacts in 2 laps. Mata passes J. Cole on the medium tyres, but J. Cole's on the fresher softs, and Verstappen, I think, is going to fancy a go at both of them here towards turn 6 there. Almost 3 abreast. Mata covers very late across the front of Verstappen. Verstappen won't be happy about that. Pease has gone round as well. J. Cole comes out of this on top. Packer and Justas, the other Alpine driver, trying to pick their way through this. I think Packer's just about made the most of that, although bumps wheels not once but twice with Justas, the LOE D1 champion. But Packer just about hangs on to P11, and look at Bree from absolute obscurity in this race is trying to pick off a place, and Justas goes a little bit out of shape, and we've got the Alpine of Verstappen there has died at turn 12. What on earth happened there? It's like nobody wants to finish in the top 6 in this race. They're all having their go at flooding their way to the back of the field. We're across the line. I forgot it was a sprint race. Campbell wins from Wouter. The McLarens of Neo and Dan in 3rd and 4th. We were too busy watching that midfield action. Carmentalist up 10 places to 5th. Gary was 6th. Ben Jess was 7th. J. Cole was 8th. That was hectic as ever you saw it at the end there. And Pease was 9th. Rocco rounded out the top 10. J. Cole gets driver of the day for his 11th place gain. But yeah, that was manic. So Miami will start in 11th place, just to continue the order. Fleddy 12th, Mata 13th, Bree 14th, Verstappen 15th, Justas 16th. What on earth happened on that final lap to the 2 Alpine drivers? Packer was 17th, Kuhn was 18th. Brendan was disqualified, I think, for going backwards after his spin. In the end, that was frenetic. The top 2 finished where they started. By God, nobody else did. The sprint has done its job because it's shaken up the grid order, an absolute treat. We're going to see the 2 McLarens locking out the 2nd row, the 2 AlphaTauris locking out the 3rd row. Oh, Ben JS, sorry, someone else who did finish where they started. J. Cole has gained 11 places after a miserable qualifying in which he was disqualified for a corner cut. So J. Cole has made the most of that situation, but yes, we've seen things shift a little bit. Verstappen disconnects, and that's just because we're getting a restart, of course, ahead of the main race. So I look forward to my invite there. Can I close my application without ending the stream? Let's try it.